If you're an athlete, you know the greatest motivator of all is the fear of letting your teammates down. After all, a team is only as good as its weakest link. So you owe it to those wearing the same jersey as you to be your best every time you step on the field. That's why there's no vape in team. When you vape, you can expose your lungs to toxic chemicals that can damage your lungs. If you're a step behind, the team's a step behind. Brought to you by The Real Cost and the FDA.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss show. And in today's episode, here's the thing. There's a main reason on why I'm doing this episode, because there are games that I've played, some old, some new, where they don't have a proper save system. And there will be some games that I'll mention where I'm like, okay, I can understand a little bit of an old game. But even then, there's games that came out before this particular game where I'm like, they got a proper save system. Why don't this game have a proper save system? And then it's crazy to me where it's like there's games that come out today where they don't have a proper save system. And that's something where I'm like, it's confusing to me, because I'm like, fam, how do you expect people to genuinely like that game where it's like, or even if it's on some stuff where it's like, okay, I like the game, but I'm like, I'm not trying to have it where I keep coming back and doing the same thing over and over and over again. I don't get to progress in the game. It's like, do you realize, like, because there might be some people where they're them diehard gamers and they sit around and they play games all day. That's not me. All right, that is not me. If you guys know me, you know I do a lot more than just be sitting around playing video games. So it's really messed up to gamers like me where it's like I have to sit down and play this game for a long period of time just so I can get to a proper area where I can save at, versus where let's say for an example, if I'm playing a video game and then I gotta go outside and do something real quick, and I know I'm gonna be out there for a while, and I'm not trying to have it where my computer is just sitting here on and it's like, nah, it's just, pretty much idling things. I would like to be able to save the game where I am at and then come back to it later. That's how most video games are. Like a lot of games I grew up playing where it's like, even if it don't have like autosave, they at least have like that option where it's like wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, you can save the game right then and there, come back to it later, you're chilling, you're solid. Now, there is a newer game that I played not too long ago where I have been checking the update page for it, because I'm like, I do want to play that game again, but I'm not going to play that game until that game has a proper save system. But there's this Sims-like game called Denizen. And yeah, I thought it was a really good game. I was just like, yeah, it's an early access game. But I was like, so far what I played, I was like, I think it's a decent and solid game. But there are some issues with that game where it prevents me from really enjoying the game. So maybe I gotta wait until that game fully comes out to enjoy it. And I don't even know when that game's supposed to like fully come out. Let me check real quick. But I just think, hold on. So approximately, there's like 1 year after the initial launch. So yeah, sometime April of next year. And it's like, fam, I'm not trying to have it where it's like I gotta wait until April of next year to enjoy the game. That's why I'm like, the thing is this. I guess just gameplay level, like when it just comes to playing a game, it's at an all-time low. All right, I will play a game for 5 minutes, and my thing is this: if I am not impressed within that 5 minutes, I'm not going to be impressed when I'm playing that game for 2 hours and then I don't like it and I'm stuck with the game. I'm like, no, nowadays I noticed that that's a pattern where I have to say I started noticing that when with Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, where they'll make it seem like that within that time frame of when the game is out, like it's going to be a good game and it's solid and all that stuff. Then after like you done played the game for 2 hours, game done been out for 2 weeks, then you're gonna really see that game's true colors. I don't like that. I don't like giving games chances like that, because I'm like, that's my money that's being put up. That's money I'm not gonna get back. So I would like to hope and think that there are some developers that understand that, but yeah, I just feel that there's some developers where they don't. They look at it as all like, hey, well, I'm getting money put in my pocket and things. I'm like, I'm telling you, and it's something where it's like, it's messed up to say it, but I really do think that there are some scammers in the video game industry, because I'm like, that just don't make no sense to me, where you played finished video games growing up. Like, I just recently went out today. I bought me an OG Xbox. I played Project Gotham Racing. I played the first Forza Motorsport, and I played True Crime New York City. And I do plan on playing me some other Xbox games. But my thing is this: even outside of that, from PlayStation 2 and 3 games, PlayStation 1 games, there's even some new games where they're finished, and I'm like, and that's the thing. I don't want to talk on that. I think people know how I feel about unfinished games. I'm like, look, if the game is unfinished, at least make sure of it, that it's like a proper unfinished, but not like an unfinished, like, would you serve raw food to somebody? And especially if you know you can't eat that food raw. That's how I feel about a video game, So I think people overall know how I feel about unfinished video games. But yeah, let's continue on talking with this save stuff. But yeah, anyways, there is this video game though called Denizen where I was playing a little bit of it. And yeah, they had it. I remember the developer said I had to go all the way back. So I had in the game, because it's like this open world Sims like game. So my character drove all the way out to this random area, and the developer is expecting me to drive all the way back. Like, I understand you want people to sit down, play your game, and enjoy it and all that stuff. But my thing is this: if I have to abruptly go somewhere, I'm not gonna drive all the way back to my character's apartment just so I could go to sleep in the bed and save and stuff. Even on whatchamacallit, Minecraft, yeah, they do have it where I think you can save when you go to sleep, but they at least have that option where you can save, like if you're trying to get material or building something, you can save right then and there and then come back to it wherever you're at later on. But it's like they do have like two options, and the weird thing about that game is that they have that option where you can save from the menu, but it only works sometimes. It don't work all the time. And I'm like, maybe I gotta play the game now to see if it works, but if not, then I'm like, fam, that's not gonna make me want to continue playing the game. Where if the game ain't got no proper save system, it ain't even got no autosave. And I'm thinking to myself, most games today have an autosave. Most games today have a proper save option of some sorts. But it's like, you're not gonna have it where you gotta go back to your character's bed, or you have to be within a certain area, whatever the situation is. I'm like, that's one of the like key things that a video game needs. And if a video game don't have that, then it's like, fam, how do you expect people to genuinely like your game? Don't get me wrong, the game is fun. It just needs to have a proper save system. That ain't no proper save system where I gotta drive all the way. Because my thing is, okay, so let's say if, because I think I talked on this before, where it's like, if a friend comes over and they're like, hey, let's hang out. I'm halfway through playing that game. They show up, pull up outside and things. I'm all like, oh, let me drive to my virtual apartment so I can save. You see how silly that sounds? Versus, all right, I'll be out there in a minute. Quick save, done. I'm saying it's like games need to definitely, all games that should be a mandatory thing where it comes with a quick save or an auto save. Not no drive to your character's apartment and then save. That's not a proper save system. That's not proper. That's not normal. I don't know what to call it, but it's not normal. And that's something where I'm like, you would think that would be one of the key things that the developer would have added to one of their updates. They came out with a few updates, I believe, with that game, and ain't one of them ain't said nothing about no save options. Like, oh, we fixed the save option to where now you can save anywhere. Is this gonna be like one, like, oh, the save update, now you can save, that's gonna be the big update that makes everybody go back and start playing the game again? I'm like, man, it's stuff like that where I'm like, nah, bro, I don't know what's going on in the gaming industry, but I'm like, it's crazy to me where I can play games from years ago. Forza Motorsport, they don't even say it. If I can maybe find it somewhere on the disc, maybe I don't even see it anywhere. Hold on for a second. All right, let me just look it up online and things. But yeah, it's like, I'm the very first Forza Motorsport. I played that game earlier today. Let's see when this game came out in 2005. You mean to tell me a game that came out 19 years ago has a better save option than the game that came out 19 years later? Do you see how like crazy that sounds? Do you see how crazy it sounds where it's like technology wasn't even really a thing? Like, this was their first time. This was Microsoft's first time really getting, okay, maybe not their first time getting into a racing game, because when did Project Gotham Racing come out? I feel like this game came out before 2001. Okay, so dang, when did the OG Xbox come out again? Hold on for a second. I got Xbox platform release date North America 2001. Dang. I was like, dang, that's how long ago it was? that is some crazy stuff. But anyways, moving on and stuff. But yeah, it's like you would think that games from like today, they will be better than the games that came out years ago, but it just seems like it's the opposite. Like I'm going out and I'm buying more old games than new games. I'm buying games that I played when I was a kid versus the games that are coming out now. And to me, I'm like, that's just some crazy stuff, man. And it's crazy to look, and you see some games where it has like a proper save system than games that came out today. So I'm like, nah, bro, that's, to me, I'm like, that's some weird stuff. That is some extremely weird stuff where if I'm playing, my thing is this, even if it's not Denise and if it's another game where if I'm playing, and there's even games that came out in the middle of that time where, yeah, there's some games where it's like if I played it and it might not have like a proper save. Well, all right, maybe I won't say a proper save system, but they don't have like autosave or something. So I'm like, yeah, maybe not a whole lot of people didn't know about that, but still though, that is something to pay attention to when it comes to like making a video game where it has an autosave option. But those are like, to me, those are the key things, because I'm like, look, if my thing is this, if I can't save exactly where I'm at, why even have that option in the game? Why even have that save option in the game? Why not just even have the video game exist in the first place? Because I'm like, that to me, I'm like, nah, man, it's like, yeah, all games, the thing is this, all games, yes, they do need to be different. But when I feel like when it comes to key things like that, a save option, bro, even if it's, because I know people are gonna probably be all like, oh, well, it wants to give you like a simulation of real life. Fam, if I want a simulation of real life, I'll go outside. I don't need no simulation in real life in a video game. A video game is meant to be fun. A video game shouldn't be a responsibility. And I feel like a lot of times, like when they be trying to like come out with this whole, oh, video game, it's sure we're trying to aim for the simulation feel. And I'm like, no, you're making it a responsibility. It ain't no simulation. It ain't like supposed to, my thing is this, it ain't supposed to be stressful when playing the game. It's supposed to be fun. So that's why I'm like, people be talking on stuff like that. And I'm all like, fam, I'm not trying to have an extra responsibility in my life when playing a video game. If that's the case, I won't even play the video game. And it's like, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to developers out there that, you know, working on their games, but at the same time, it's like you have to understand that people are trying to have fun. They're trying to, this is like an escape, like, you know, safe haven for them. But it's like, my thing is this, I go to a video game, I get stressed out. How is that supposed to be fun? How in any way whatsoever that's supposed to be fun? It's not. It's not going to be fun. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, look, people, you have to understand, all right? You really, really, really have to understand that when developing a video game, look, even if it's old-fashioned, aim for older games. But when it comes down to the save options, you gotta have either a quick save button, you either gotta have an auto save that goes off every 5 minutes, and if not that, have it where you just pause the game, you can save it from the menu. Because I would rather have it where that's something where I couldn't be mad about with the video game, where it's like, okay, let's say if they didn't have like no auto save, and I exit out the game and I'm like, oh man, dang, I forgot to save. I'll blame myself on that. I won't even blame the game. Yeah, I'll probably bring it up that the game should have an auto save, but if not, then it's like, okay, then that's just that. I have to say that'll probably be as far as the responsibility stuff will go, where it's like, I gotta remember to save. Because no, there is a video game that's like that, Dead Rising, and I remember where I think it was 2 that was like that. I don't know about, I think 1, but they have it where it's like you gotta like go to the bathroom and save and stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, like, stuff like that shouldn't even exist. I was like, even then I could think about that when I'm all like, man, and that's why I didn't really play that game, because I'm like, I'm not trying to have it where I go out somewhere and maybe, I don't know, maybe it's like a responsibility thing where they're all like, okay, well, if you can make it to a bathroom, then you should be okay in the game and stuff, but if you can't make it to the bathroom, then it's like, then yeah, you're gonna have to figure it out. But it's like, okay, when Dead Island, when did that game, I just overall know that game came out when I was a kid, but let me see when that, not Dead Island, but Dead Rising 2, I'm trying to like really not say, they have Dead Rising 2 on Steam? Huh. I might have to, well, I have the game on console, I believe, but the game came out in 2010, fam, I had just turned 14, I just started high school, I'm a kid. I am a child. I can't be staying up in the middle of the night trying to hurry up and get to a bathroom. And my thing is this, and that's even more so a reason. I don't know if they, because I played a little bit of Dead Rising 4, but I didn't play a whole lot of it and things. But I can't remember if they did have like an autosave. Hopefully they did. But I had to play that game and get and see. But my thing is this, do you think a 14-year-old kid is do you think they'll be able to explain it to their parent? Because I guess, like, if I'm the parent and I know about video games and my kid's all like, oh, I have to, like, hurry up and get to a bathroom in this game to save, and I'm like, okay, me being a gamer parent, I'm like, hey, I already understand. Just, yeah, try your hardest to hurry up. If you need my help, I will help you get to that bathroom. But because I don't know what you found, and I would really hate for you to be playing this game and you gotta start this stuff all over, then your brain gonna be all over the place. I'm like, no, I'm gonna respect your video game wishes and stuff. But yeah, I'm like, hurry up and get to that bathroom and things in the game. But it's like a parent that don't really be playing video games like that. I know I've said numerous times that my parents play video games, but I'm pretty sure they play video games that were properly made. So, anyways, but that's something that my parents wouldn't have been listening to, alright? It's in the middle of the night, I got school the next day, and they talking about, hey, you gotta go to bed and stuff, and I'm all like, I gotta get to this bathroom in this game and save. They gonna give me probably 5 minutes max. If it takes me 6 minutes, there ain't no, oh, just one more minute. It's like, no, turn the game off, you gotta go. I'm turning this game off. I am upset because I gotta do this all over again. So that's why I'm saying video games need to have a proper save system. That's it. That's all, whether it's quick save, auto save, or just a manual save. But it shouldn't be no, oh, I gotta do this to save, I gotta do that to save. No, it should just be a quick snap of the button, or just something popping up on the screen after I go. Because that was the reason why I didn't really like playing Denizen, was that even after the fact that it's like your character can go through like some job or something, work for whoever and things, I gotta do it all over again. Fam, I'm not trying to do all that. I'm not trying to continue. I honestly feel like people will be doing stuff like that, especially in this day and age, because they know it's going to take a person more than 2 hours and 2 weeks to get to a game. And if they're all like, oh, well, let's just have it. And they haven't even, they've came out with some updates and stuff, but I feel like the only reason why they probably done came out with some updates with that game is because they don't want that game to get bad ratings. I'm like, okay, well then do stuff for people if they got complaints and issues with the game. I'm not trying to have it where I spend money on your guys' game and then I don't get nothing in return. No, I'm not doing that. Like I said earlier, it's like, do you think a person is gonna want to eat some raw food and get sick and get upset and all this other stuff? No. My thing is this: if I paid for a fully cooked meal, talking on video games, if I'm paying for a fully developed, and then if it's a work in progress thing, then I'm like, okay, when the game is ready, then that's when I'll put my money up. Until then, it's like, nah, bro, it shouldn't be no stuff where it's like, oh, I gotta put my money up and then you guys just give me a game, whatever, but I gotta take a chance on, because there's been times where I played games or I bought games and the developers have given up on them and you hadn't heard from them since. Where's my money with those games? And I'm supposed to have the same trust I had with those games in your game? No, it don't work like that, alright? So, anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode, and peace.